Hi there, my name is Sam and I'm the Country Manager of TaxDome, and in this video today I'm going to show you how to make a fully customizable workflow for your practice. So firstly, I want to start off by going through what a workflow really is. A workflow on TaxDome is essentially a process that is separated into different stages, and it really covers the whole process from start to finish. In each stage, we can associate different automations. This can be seen by the lightning bolt symbol just here. When I add an account to the workflow, it's going to be added to the first stage, and then it's going to move through one stage at a time, like so. In each stage, we can even associate a feature called conditional logic. Now, conditional logic is only going to apply certain automations depending on what tag the client accounts that we add have. So for example, if I add a client account to this step here, if it has the tag payroll, they're going to have this specific folder template added to their document storage portal. And if that client account has the bookkeeping tag, then they're going to have this folder template added to their portal. In this example today, we're going to be using a dice to help us determine the amount of stages in this process, and it's going to also help us determine what automations we're going to use. We're then going to create the custom flow so I can show you how easy it is to make a process fully customizable for you. For automations that are repeated, so for example if I roll the same number twice, we're going to show you an example of how conditional logic could be applied to those steps. Let's go ahead and just determine what automations we're going to apply for each number on the dice. If we roll a number 1, we will add an organizer, which is essentially a digital form used to request important documents and information. If I roll the number 2, we're going to create a task which can be assigned to any team member and will help us follow up on any internal work. If I roll the number 3, we'll add a contract or letter of engagement to the workflow, so that will be sent directly to the client's portal where they can sign it. If I roll the number 4, we're going to send the client an email directly to the address linked to their profile on the CRM. If I roll the number 5, we're going to apply a folder structure which is essentially going to customize the formatting of their documents and files. Lastly, if I roll the number 6, we're going to send the client an invoice, which again will be sent directly to their client portal where they can then make the payment. Now let's go ahead and roll the dice to see what kind of workflow we're going to be creating. So this first roll is going to determine the number of stages in our workflow. So there we go, we're going to have 4 stages in our workflow automation. Now let's see what automations we're going to add to those 4 stages. Number 2, that means we're going to add a task to the workflow. Number 3, let's go ahead and add a contract or letter engagement to our flow. Number 5, let's apply a folder structure to organize the documents within their CRM. I've rolled a 5 again, so I'm going to add another folder template to our workflow and apply conditional logic so I can manage multiple client types within the same flow. Number 2, that means we're going to create another task. Now we can also use conditional logic here and apply this task to a different team member. And lastly, we've rolled a number 1. So we're going to send an organizer to our clients to request all the documents and important information. Let's go ahead and create the workflow. So right now we're currently on the workflow tab within my TaxDome profile, and we're currently on the edit page where we can add additional stages and add as many automations as we like. Let's start off by adding the 4 stages to our flow. Now I've added those 4 stages, let's go ahead and add each of the automations that we just configured previously. Let's go ahead and add the contract to the first stage of our flow. I can do that by simply clicking Add Automations and clicking on Send Contract. Now I'm going to select a template that I've created for bookkeeping and hit Save. In the second stage, once the client has signed their contract, let's say for example I would like to request all of their information. So let's go ahead and add the organizer automation to the flow. I'm going to add the bookkeeping organizer here. I'm also going to add some reminders so TaxDome can follow up on the client for me. Now we've got the signed contract, we've requested all the information and documents. Let's go ahead and structure their document storage portal. I'm going to add 2 automations here for a folder template. Let's add a bookkeeping folder template, and let's go ahead and add a default tax years template. Now, as I explained previously, since we have 2 automations that are the same, let's add conditional logic. So these automations are only going to be applied to accounts with the relevant tag. So for the bookkeeping folder template, I'm going to add the condition for accounts that have the bookkeeping tag. And for the default tax years, let's add the tag accounts. Let's go ahead and hit Save. Now in this last stage, I need to add 2 tasks. Let's go ahead and add conditional logic for different team members so that it's going to be automatically assigned to the correct team member. So I'm going to go ahead and click Create Task. Let's say that this task is specific to my colleague Simon. I have a tag for him. Let's hit Apply. And for the second task, let's say that this is specific to my other colleague Joseph. Now we've completed the flow, let's hit Save and see how that appears on our Kanban board. And that's how easy it is to create automations with TaxDome. If you'd like to try creating your own, then you have the opportunity to start a 14-day free trial. I'll also include the link below. Thank you very much for watching.